Hello and welcome to another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast. Present Beat the Bros. Tonight we got a good one for you. It's episode 571. Having a lot of fun. Tonight we're playing some games. We're going to have some fun. First off, we're starting off with Liam's bringing us a top 10 list, and we got to guess the top 10 list of the favorite foods of tourists visiting the United States for the World Cup. Love it. Then we're moving on to 20 questions where me, myself, Bendy, Liam Reese, and Tom Lavelle all have to guess a fictional character brought to us by Bern. But before we do any of that, and then we're going to move on to news stories that I bring. There are going to be some fun ones that they're going to have to guess the stuff that I leave out. Great time. But before we get to any of that, it's time to start off the show with everyone's new favorite segment. It's Tom's Topics. Oh. Tom, take it away. Oh.
Well, gentlemen, recently I got to see the movie Toy Story 5, and I'm assuming we're all familiar with the Toy Stories as they are. And without giving anything away, I would like to put out my rankings for the Toy Story movies. And I would say of the 5, I'm going to go 1, 3, 5, 2, 4. 1, 3, 5, 2, 4. And this what brings me to my topic. I'm a stickler for the original, the OG, sure. the one that started it all.
Gotta have it.
I lean maybe towards the fact that 3 is the best of the Toy Stories. However,
3 the one with the bear that goes on the trash truck at the end?
Oh, it's the one that emotionally ruins you. It's the one that hurts you the most.
Yes.
3's great.
Yeah.
So
3's great.
I guess my question, my topic is, am I giving too much weight to it being I have 1 as 1, the number 1, sure. Because it's the thing. It started it all. It's the movie.
Started it all.
And it basically started Pixar.
Right.
And it's just, am I giving too much weight to it being the first? You know, there's several movies that have had, sequels, even trilogies, and I just always seem to go with numero uno because it was the OG.
Well, Rocky 1 is the best one. You know what I mean?
Godfather, Rocky 1. I mean, Back to the Future. All these ones. I'm just saying.
You're right with the Godfather.
Wrong as always.
Yeah, but I guess that's my question. Do you get both points for being the first?
Listen, Toy Story 1 crawled so all the rest of the Toy Stories could walk. There's got to be respect there, for sure.
And when you rank that stuff, I kind of put weight. You should, though, because how did the movie make you feel? Like, what was the experience the first time you saw it? The first time you were
all had exposed for it.
The first time you took it, that does count for something. You know what I mean? Like, at that time, that movie was fucking, Liam, revolutionary.
Can I ask, Liam, was Steve Cabot the Sid of your neighborhood?
No, that was definitely Jazz.
Yeah,
Liam, okay. I think you make a very important point there, and I think there's a point that applies to all fiction, which is why I don't think you're giving it too much weight, Tom. The unexpected, right? You walk into the first Toy Story, you don't know anything. You have to learn every single thing about it. You walk out of that experience going, wow, I knew nothing about that. I had a great time. I connected with the characters. I connected with the story. That is almost impossible to duplicate. We can probably list on one hand sequels that were better than the original. There's a lot of good sequels out there, but almost nothing captures that. Like, just think about your first time doing anything. I mean, it sticks out in your mind. Now, Toy Story 2, it's now, Tom, I will say, I have seen all of these except for 5. We haven't done 5 yet. So I am interested to ask you later how 5 lands right in the middle. I think that is interesting.
Well, can I ask you this? 3 is the evolution of the story. Like, they move on to a whole new thing, right? So with that, like, you can't have that without 1. 1 introduces the whole thing. There's no way you could have the storyline of 3 without the pre-established characters of 1.
Yeah.
3
Right? Like, it
ties
doesn't
up
happen.
because of 1 and 2.
And
Correct.
for it being top tier while also establishing all of that stuff makes it like that's what puts it over the top. That's what makes it number one.
Right. It's long-term storytelling. You know what I mean? It's why WrestleMania 40 was so incredible, is because Cody lost at 39. Right? That made it more incredible.
I
That's
actually
why
think 39 is the better WrestleMania.
I agree. I
The
think
end of
Infinity
40,
War is
though.
I think Infinity War is better than Endgame. Right? They gotta lose
Yeah.
so you could win.
You've been
You know?
Yeah, you can't
Like-
have backdoor co-eds 63 without backdoor co-eds 62, dude. You just that
everybody
doesn't
knows.
happen without it.
You don't get backdoor sluts 9 without backdoor sluts 1 through 8. Everybody
Yeah.
knows that.
I will say this, and maybe this is emotional fragility on my part. I would also agree with Tom. Now, not seeing 5, that 3 is the second best Toy Story. It has never occurred to me to go back and watch 3. Like, I saw 3 and I was like,
Oh, really?
that's great. You ripped my goddamn guts out. Yeah, I've never gone back and watched
You have
Up.
kids.
I
That's
got
the
it.
perfect
end of
opportunity,
3.
perfect excuse to do it.
Dude, listen, I have my own shit going on. And the end of 3, having to come to terms with your
long,
mortality and I mean, there's something about that one. I recognize it
the
as
music,
excellent,
it rips you.
but I don't need to go back now. My kids, I have not gone back and watched that with them yet. I think my son has maybe has seen it. My daughter just watched the first 2 because she became interested when she saw she's only 4, but she became interested when she saw the previews for Toy Story 5. And I was like, well, so when she was here last weekend, we watched 1 and 2. And I was like, I know I'm going to have to watch 3 again. I'm not looking forward to it. I will say that. I think it's the second best movie in the series. I'm not looking forward to it.
It's incredible. It's incredible. See,
Yeah.
I'm one that loves. I like the emotion. I'm a fan of like sad music. I'm a fan of like
you're
this,
dead
like,
inside. You need to feel anything.
Yeah.
I may feel something different now watching it with my kids. But just as a solo guy, when I saw it originally, I was like, wow, the end of everyone dies and life's not fair. And we all move on, and nothing is permanent. Okay, cool.
That's
You know what,
something I
though?
want to do
The
more
final
of is
5
watch
minutes
movies with my kids.
The final 5 minutes of Toy Story 3 with the music and the drop off and the final play and the look back and the drive away. It's just OMG. It's even worse
It's
with
cinema.
children. Like now with
I
kids, it's like you are the toys for your kids. And eventually they're going to move on and leave you behind. And it's like, oh my God. That being said, without giving away too much in Toy Story 5, I think, and maybe you be the judge, and I don't have daughters, so I'm asking the girl dads here. Are we coddling Bonnie a little too much? Are we like, hey, Bonnie, you can't do it. We need to help it. Like, just let the fucking girl figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough. I have a 1.5-year-old son, and I'm already so much harder on him than I ever have been on my daughter, you know? And it's just because she's a princess, and she needs to be taken care of and
It's
treated
hard
like a princess.
It's hard to do that with a daughter, though, dude.
Yeah.
It's
Tough love's tough, especially for your angel.
Maybe I have a little bit of the reverse. My son's 9 and my daughter is 4. And I already feel like there are certain things that she reacts more to where I'm like, I might be able to get her a scholarship. Like, she doesn't give a shit. Like my son will be sensitive about certain things, or like, no matter how you phrase it, sometimes he takes criticism a little harshly, or, you know what I mean? Like, I got to be he's a little more of a sensitive, like anxious kid.
That might just be second child too.
Exactly. My daughter doesn't give a motherfucking fuck. She does not care at all. And she's a sturdy girl. So I feel like, what do you want to do? You want to do field hockey? You want to do fucking sumo wrestling? Like, let's go. I feel like I already feel like I can coach her harder just based on her temperament than I can myself.
Yeah. I will say this, a little proud dad moment today. My daughter was skateboarding outside and fell off the skateboard both feet on the board. Board went out from under her, landed on like her back, hip, and elbow. and got up and didn't cry. And I was like, okay, all right, maybe this fucking, well, maybe we're doing something here. She cried later, but it was like initially she didn't. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Get on it.
Not
'Cause
till
I probably
mom
would have
showed
fucking
up.
cried.
Though. Once mom showed up, then she cried.
When we went in
right?
the house, it was fucking
Yeah.
Tear City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad
But all
broke
right.
They
my
know.
arm.
Yeah. So, okay. Anything else we want to do for Tom's topic?
I mean,
No, boys. Thanks for indulging me on that.
and you know what, Tom? I have not seen 5, so excluding 5, I would say 1, 3, 2, 4. I would absolutely make that
Is
my
4
top
that
4 list
bad?
of Toy Stories.
4
It's
is
not
bad.
but
It's not bad, but bad comparatively to all the other
Well,
Toy
also it
Stories.
followed 3. It's like Feast of Crows following fucking.
They needed
what,
5.
Storm of
They
Swords.
needed 5.
3 could have been the end. 3 was kind of the natural end of the whole
3
thing.
was it.
It could have just it probably could have and maybe should have just ended there. Now Tom's saying 5 is good, which means I'm glad they went on and did it. But 4 was almost like, guys, you just had Return of the
Is 2
Jedi.
where they introduced
You just had
Jesse?
Return of the Jedi. Why do we have to go back
2
and
is they introduce Jesse, Bullseye, Prospector.
they're at the
whole
motel.
deal.
Mm.
2's the motel, right? When
You
the
got a
toys get lost at the
friend in
motel.
me.
Or the apartment,
Talk ab-
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Al's
All right.
farm,
Yeah.
farm,
So,
toy farm.
all right. Well, Bern, Liam, do you agree with the list of Tom's
It's a solid
movie
list.
ranking?
I got.
I don't think I've
I
ever
got
seen
nothing.
4, and I definitely haven't seen 5. So
I
I
haven't seen
haven't
5.
seen 5. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
But I
Bert.
would
No problem
haven't
with
seen
giving
5.
extra points to 1 because
Not
it's
at all.
1.
No.
Okay.
not at all.
Dude,
Not it.
1 was so revolutionary.
It's where you
Yeah.
fall in
when
love.
it came
It's
out.
where you fall in love.
So big.
I don't think the
Yeah.
young
Yeah.
kids know.
You
It
don't.
was so massive. Dude, I mean, it revolutionized everything. It was incredible.
Also, think about Pixar. Think about how much the
Yeah.
success of toy. Think about the movies that we got because of the success of the
Yeah.
first Toy
I
Story.
just watched Zootopia 2 the other day. Fantastic.
Dude, but Pixar was
Zootopia is
goated.
solid.
That happened, and Pixar was like, they were like, "All right, you go make your next 5 movies," and then we got a lot of really good shit right after that.
Talk about you want a good cry. How about you watch Up again, you fucker? You know what I
well,
mean? Huh?
Like Finding Nemo. I mean, you just got a lot of
Oh.
really quality shit.
Coco. Remember
Coco,
me.
classic.
Coco rules.
Coco's a classic.
Coco's great.
Even
All
ones
right,
that aren't.
good.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, what, Liam?
Carry on. Even ones that aren't Pixar, like just those kind of like CGI animation movies in general. There's just so
Yeah.
many awesome ones. And
They're
Toy
awesome.
Story kicked all that
Dude,
shit
even
off, you know?
Shrek, all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
I
was
wonder
getting at.
what is higher grossing, Toy Story or Shrek?
Probably Toy
Ooh.
Story.
Probably
Toy
Toy
Story.
Story. I would
I'll tell you,
guess
it's
Toy
probably
Story.
not a big a gap as you think, though.
Nah, you're probably
How
right.
many Shreks are there?
There's
think there's
3,
4.
and the last
Oh.
one came out like 15 years ago.
Aren't they making
So,
another
like-
one? I think there's another one coming, dude.
I thought there was
Probably.
Yeah.
But,
I think there's only
Toy
3.
Story is like
4. Yeah,
Toy Story is
Think about
way
the
more
first Toy
interesting.
Story came out in like '96. It's 30 years
Crazy.
old.
It's crazy,
crazy.
to think about that. Yeah.
Think about it. Andy's fucking 45 right now. You know?
Yeah, Andy's my age.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
All
why
right.
3 hit so hard.
Love it. Sid has been in and out of jail 6 times. You know, he's
Sid's
got
cooking-
he's got 2 baby mamas, a fucking
Well, they
wacky
bring-
down-
Sid's
Not
cooking
to-
Crystal in the basement.
not to spoil alert, but
Sid's a heroin
Sid
addict.
makes an appearance in 5.
Whoa.
Let's go.
Whoa.
Right.
Shit.
Whoa.
Now I want to watch this.
Let's
He's
go.
Talk
he's
about
changed his ways.
Palpatine returning.
Say no
huh?
more, Tommy. Say
Sid
no
has
more.
changed his ways. And I
Wow.
just totally made that up. He is not in 5 at all. I'm sorry.
Ah,
that I
you
did
dickhead.
that, but-
That was a
I
dick
did
move.
love that
That
Star
was
Wars
such a
joke
dick
of like
move.
somehow Sid has
If
returned.
Sid came back as a priest, that would have been all-time character arc.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
I would say that was the path he was on anyway. But I have my problems with the Catholic Church, so let's
Yeah.
just move. Let's just keep it
Sure,
moving.
sure. All right, let's keep it moving. So, Tom's topic.
Oh,
All right, but let's move it on. LeSchmigle, you got a list? Hit us with it, Daddy.
I do. I was watching TV earlier and I saw a news story about all these tourists coming in for the World Cup and how much they were enjoying American food and everything. And I thought it was super interesting. So we are going to do the top 10 American foods that visiting countries are loving. All right. Top 10
nice.
American foods that the visiting countries are loving during the World Cup.
All right. I have a question. Does this include like beverages or no? Like if this is just like eat like
So
meal food.
it is food. There is something that's kind of a beverage, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We know.
it's solid-ish. You know what I
We know
mean?
that one.
Okay.
I'll make that my first guess to get it out of
Okay.
All right. Okay. So we know what we're doing here. We got our stuff ready to go. Okay. So who wants to all
I'll
right.
go first and wrap the beverage up.
All right,
All right.
ready? Clock started. Hit it.
All right. The answer is free refills.
Free refills they did talk about a lot, but that's not on this list. We're talking like
Really?
so that that was like a big deal, but this
I
is
know
more like
number one.
food.
Can I give you number one? It's
You sure
fucking
can.
ranch dressing. Number
Ranch
one.
dressing is number 2. They are going fucking wild for ranch dressing, dude.
Ranch dressing's
Really?
number. Oh, they're
Ranch dressing is
fucking
number 2. They're
loving it.
going ape shit for it, dude.
Apparently
You
they
ever
don't
get
have
a
it in
good
Europe.
ranch, a homemade
Dude,
ranch?
Hidden Valley's gonna take over the fucking globe after this, Daddy.
Yeah.
Hidden Valley, great ranch
Gonna be in
dressing.
your
Can I
face
also
valley.
is ketchup on there?
Ketchup is not on
No.
here.
Ketchup's
We're doing
not.
condiments?
No, that's
Dude,
that's the only.
is
I'll tell you
barbecue
this.
sauce?
That's the only condiment.
Only
Okay,
condom.
good.
Got it.
I'm gonna throw one out to Philadelphia. I'm gonna say a cheesesteak.
Philly cheesesteaks, number 4, Daddy. They are
Woo!
eating it up.
Can I is soft pretzel on there?
Soft pretzel is not on here.
Ah, that's
Liam.
a
Okay.
bummer.
Liam, can I get biscuits and gravy as a breakfast food?
Biscuits and gravy, nah, that's not on
No.
here.
Oh.
But
Let's go.
you're
We
getting
got to be talking like our fast food and stuff. They're
Can I
probably
get
like
brisket?
K-
Is brisket?
Texas barbecue brisket is number 1. They are loving the shit out of some Texas barbecue, dude.
Okay, do we got like a hot chicken on there, like a fried chicken sandwich or something?
Fried chicken sandwich, yeah. So you got a couple things,
Is Chick-fil-A?
but you're right. Number 7 is like Southern fried chicken, like Raising Cane's,
Okay.
KFC, that kind of thing. That's number 7. Now that's one of a couple chicken items that are on here.
Is Chick-fil-A
Ooh.
on there?
Sort of. I guess it's a kind of chicken. Chick-fil-A
Chicken
makes
nuggets?
it. Yes, chicken nuggets is number 6. But they're mostly going crazy for whatever these beaver nuggets are at Buc-ee's. They love the
Oh.
shit out of those.
Okay. What number is the beaver nuggets?
That is number 6.
Okay.
So nuggets are 6, Southern fried chicken 7, cheesesteak 4, ranch 2, Texas barbecue 1. So we got 5, guys. We got 5 left. We got to figure out here.
You
got
got
a
one
minute
more,
and a half.
one more
Burgers,
chicken,
burgers.
one more chicken item. Burgers, yes, American burgers like Five Guys, McDonald's, like Shake Shack,
In-N-Out.
Smash Burgers.
Yeah.
They are loving that. That is number 8.
Ooh,
Right?
Okay.
We haven't got our drink yet. Is milkshakes on there or something?
Yes, sir. Number 10 is like comfort
Tommy.
sweets, like cake shakes, floats, like all that kind of stuff. Like they're loving like all the shakes and ice cream drinks and cake. Mainly cake
strong.
shakes they're going crazy for, but that's a milkshake, you know?
Do we say pizza? I mean pizza?
Pizza is number 5. Specifically, they love
Papa John's.
Chicago deep dish
Deep dish,
pizza
yeah.
for some reason, which I think is wild because there's so much better pizza
Oh,
out there.
dude.
But
You got to get on Detroit style. I'm telling you.
styles. very
Detroit
good.
style. Oh, there's a place where we were just at, Queen City Crust. Fucking
Uh-huh.
Detroit style. So good. All right.
Nice.
So we need 2 more guys, 3 and 9.
Liam, can I get a chicken fried steak? Is there
chicken
more
fried
like
steaks not on there. Just
I'm looking
think
for,
more like your normal chicken. You pretty much named all our. So you named chicken.
We
nuggets,
got another
fried
chicken on there. Rotisserie
Is
chicken?
chicken
Yeah.
and waffles on there?
Kind of like so like chicken tenders. They're going crazy for chicken tenders. And that's
Tendies,
why I'm just going to
nuggets,
give you.
yeah.
Number 3 is this. I guess Publix is big in certain parts
So-
of the country,
Okay.
and they're
Look
going
at
crazy
us.
for Publix chicken tenders.
we're so spoiled that we throw tendies and nuggets in the same category.
Yeah, I know.
I
And
was
that's why I
saying
kinda
the
know.
same.
That's why I
Totally
kind of just
different
floated
thing.
that one here. Yep. You got
All right,
one
we
more.
got
One
we
more.
got one left. We're past time. Everyone gets one more guess. Tom, go first.
I'm going straight up like diner breakfast food, like
Oh.
breakfast. They're loving breakfast.
I have seen videos of them like loving breakfast and stuff, but that's not number 9. Number 9's the only
Ah,
one left.
Bern, go ahead.
Matt, do you have anything? I need a sec. I mean,
I
I don't
do,
have
Think of
yeah.
anything.
stuff we do, neighborhoods. It's like a neighborhood staple. Every
Ah,
fucking city's got. It's like, man, it's hard to
it's
Toasty
dogs,
say
chef?
Liam. It's
without you
dogs.
giving it, huh?
It's
I
dogs. It's glizzies. It's hot
No, no,
dogs.
no, not glizzy. Sorry.
I wanted to say corn dogs, but or is it like water ice or anything like that? Or
Nah,
no?
no water ice.
All
When
right,
I
go
say it, you guys
ahead.
are gonna be like, ah. All right, guys, I'll give you the list now. I'll just break it down from 10 to 1, okay?
Okay.
So it's the top 10 foods that all tourists are going crazy for during the World Cup when they're visiting America, okay? Number 10 is like comfort sweets, shakes, Twinkies. They're going crazy for Captain Crunch for some reason. Number 9, what
yes.
you guys missed is like deli sandwiches, like cold
Oh,
cut
Italian
sandwiches from like,
Jeez,
hoagie.
yeah,
yeah.
from neighborhood delis and stuff. They're loving that. Number 8 is American burgers, like Five Guys, McDonald's, smash burgers, all that kind of stuff. 7 is Southern fried chicken, like Raising Cane's, which it kind of goes with number 3, but number 6 is chicken nuggets, beaver chicken nuggets from Bucky's. Number 5, pizza, specifically Chicago deep dish pizza. Number 4 is Philly cheesesteaks. Number 3 is chicken tenders, specifically from Publix. Number 2 is ranch dressing. They're going absolutely wild for. And 1 at the very top of the list, and rightfully so, is Texas barbecue
Mm.
brisket. They are eating that up.
Oh, baby. Texas barbecue ribs,
Great
all
Briskets,
that,
list.
ribs,
baby.
little pulled
Great list,
pork.
Liam.
That
Great
is a great list.
list. Great list.
I'll tell you
Love it.
what, I eat everything on that list. I've never been to Chicago, so I've never had like an official Chicago deep dish pizza. But I stand behind every other listing
Mm-hmm.
on that list.
You
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
arguments. No
Love
arguments
it.
for me.
Liam, that was a phenomenal list. As always, another great list. So let's keep it
Welcome
moving.
to the States, guys. Welcome to the
What
States.
Hey.
about what about the people from like when they're coming to this country? They try any ass? They eating any American ass when they've been here?
Tell ya.
What do they think of the ass?
Got good ass.
Number
here.
11. Tom, number 11. That was number 11.
Yeah, it's just off the
Number
list.
11.
Gotta eat that
Good
good,
old-
American ass.
Good old American ass. That's beef fed ass right there.
You want to go south of the border when you're in America for that
That's
ass. Let
some
me
grass
That's some
fed
Red dye ass right
tell you. Hey,
there.
have you
Red dye
visited the
number
Grand
5.
Canyon? Because that's where you can eat the ass, baby. That's the ass of the United States.
Foreigners
Alright.
going
High
crazy
fructose
over the
butt in your
ass.
face.
So, okay,
Well done,
let's keep
guys.
it moving.
Great job by everyone.
Great
Way to
job,
wrap that
great
one
stuff.
up for me, right, guys?
That was perfect, Tommy.
Yep. Okay, let's keep moving. Benditi Padalini, you got a fictional character. So here's how it's going to work. We got 20 questions, but it's broken down into segments. So we have 2 minutes for the first to ask the first 5 questions. Then we have 2 minutes to deliberate. Then we have 2 minutes to ask the next 5 questions. Then we have 2 minutes to deliberate. Then we have 2 minutes to ask the next 5, and then 2 minutes to deliberate and possibly make a guess if we have not figured it out by then. All right, I'm super excited for this. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're doing a fictional character tonight, Bern. Correct?
We're doing a fictional character. I'm going to throw a little hint to you guys right away. Okay.
Okay.
We're going to call this a Gibbler situation, right? We are in a Gibbler situation where this character spans a decade, which means starts towards the end of a decade, moves strongly into another decade. So, like, if you remember, the Kimmy Gibbler question was this character more popular in the 80s or the 90s? It was tough for me to answer that because I couldn't say when. We have another character who's cuspy here, right? Starts towards the end of a decade, moves into another decade. I'm not going to be able to answer that question specifically.
We can narrow down where those decades are.
You can narrow, yes, you can
Right.
narrow those down,
Yeah.
but there will be a question like a specific decade or two that you ask
We
where I'm
always
going to
get
have
to
to
the
say
timeline through 5 through
can't-
10.
I can't answer that question. So I'm just letting you know that It's a
All right.
cuspy character. You got someone on the cusp.
All right.
Okay.
We'll be able to finite some,
Yeah.
some timelines here. Okay. Are we ready, team? First set of 5. Are we ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hit it. All right, Bern. Is this character a man?
This character is male.
All right.
Okay.
Love it. Okay. Uh, is this character in any comic books?
Maybe, but I don't know, and that's not where you'd know the character.
Not known
No
for comics.
comics.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna try. I'm still gonna try to narrow the time down. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Mhm.
Was this character's popularity most prevalent after the year 2000?
No.
Okay,
Okay.
so we're talking pre 2000.
All right. Was this character popular from the end of the 80s to the 90s?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
80 end of the 80s to 90s. Okay, that's 4. Was this character in a sitcom?
No. That is your 5.
All
No
right.
sitcom.
Okay. So we know it's 80s to 90s. We know it's male. We know it's not comics. We got to find maybe if it's got
Not
a
a
superpower or
sitcom.
anything like that. Not a sitcom. So we got to go movies maybe, right? We
Yeah,
got to
so now
narrow
we
down
ask if it's movies or TV. Yes, I
movies,
agree with that.
movies
Yeah.
or
It's got to be
TV.
movies.
Well,
If
it
it's
also
not in
could
a
be video
sitcom,
games too. It could be watch out for video games because that's a sneaky fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we gotta narrow down if this is an animated fucking character or a real character. You
Yeah.
know, like we
Yep.
got some shit to do. All right, so let's start off then by when we get into let's find out movies or TV. Okay.
Yeah, I
All
agree.
right, Tom,
Gotta
you
be
can lead off
movies.
with the question. Are we ready?
Okay. Is this
Hit it,
character mainly known for movies?
No.
So we're
Uh,
TV or video
Well, gotta
games.
confirm.
well,
What
if it's
you
not on a
know?
sitcom, what kind of TV could a character be on?
Right. Also, it could be from a fucking video game. Remember.
Okay, it might be from a video game, but I'm just saying if the popularity's not from movies and he's not been in a sitcom, it can't be on TV. What
That could,
characters?
yeah, well, it could still be like a Saturday morning cartoon. It could be,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
because
it could be a
sitcoms is
TV
type of
show that's
show.
not funny. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, are we talking sci-fi or something like that?
Yeah. Bern, was this character in a TV show?
Yes.
Okay, TV show.
Uh,
Now
All
we
right.
find out if it's animated, I think.
Yeah. Bern, is this a cartoon or slash animated character?
Sure is.
Okay,
Animated.
now we're cooking. All right,
Okay.
so now we ask if it's Saturday morning cartoons or if it's like Simpson
I don't
style.
know
You know what I
enough of
mean?
this. Yeah. Ooh, Simpsons. But Simpsons are
Saturday morning
still.
cartoons has tripped you guys up before because there's so many of them.
Sure
Just saying.
did.
Yeah, but if you say
All right.
no, that
It
knocks
eliminates
out
a lot too.
Then we're getting into like the primetime animated shows like Simpsons and whatnot.
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
In
Was
the
this a
90s,
Saturday
how
morning
many,
cartoon? Bern.
It was not a Saturday morning cartoon.
Okay.
Dude, I'm telling you, I saw a little twitch in Bern's eyebrow when I said Simpsons. I really think we should ask the Simpsons question.
Well, what
Or
question
no,
are we
I
on?
guess
Are
we
on
should
9?
ask if it's like primetime animation, I guess.
But
would
what
be the
other
question.
primetime animations were there in the like 80s, 90s?
What defines prime time, by the way? If you're going to ask that question, then I need
Yeah,
clear
Simpsons were what,
parameters.
Sunday nights or something?
Like no. That yeah, it used to be Sunday nights at like 8. Yeah, prime time is like between 7 and 9. I guess
My
7 to
understanding of
10.
prime time is it's like 7 to 10 p.m.
Yeah,
in the
7 to
evening.
10 would be
Okay.
about
Just making
that.
sure we're on the
It's
same.
not
definition
like
of
the
it.
after school lineup. It's the after dinner line. The
Yeah.
later night. Yeah.
See, here, I thought primetime was like a defensive player, but he could also play offense, and he went from team to team. And
Tommy,
I
that
don't
was
know.
my first ever Who That Dude that I did with
Ooh,
Maddie. Was
yeah.
Deion
nice.
Sanders.
Neon.
So okay, Bern, was this TV show a prime time show?
Nope, that's 5.
Okay, no
Not
prime time and
time.
not Saturday
Hmm.
morning. Oh, okay.
So was it an after school gimmick?
Might have been after school. What was a running like? What was a an animated cartoon that was like long enough
Animaniacs,
running?
maybe.
Ooh,
Is it the
Animaniacs. But that
Animaniacs?
wasn't like 80s and 90s. Like that was just
80s
90s.
into 90s, not Saturday. Oh, this is yeah. We're
Are we
getting
looking
tough
at like
now.
the Acme, like a Bugs Bunny kind of like? Do
That's
we even know
yeah,
this?
yeah. Because
Nah,
that was
because he
never
wouldn't have
Saturday
said 80s
morning.
to 90s. That goes decades, dude. That's
Yeah.
you know what I mean. That goes
Are
way
we
way
talking
back.
like? Are we talking? Oh, well, they're not known for comics, so that eliminates like the Batman's and X-Men and stuff like that.
Uh, and that was Saturday morning shit too, wasn't it?
Might have been.
I watched my animated series, and yeah,
Right.
I mean,
Okay. Well, dude, because you gotta think there's DuckTales, there's Chippendales, there's Tailspin, Darkwing Duck. You know what
Oh
I
yeah, and
mean?
that stuff wasn't really
I'm
part of
gonna
the
say.
animated
I'm gonna
lineup. Yeah,
say
you're
it's
onto
like.
something there. We should ask if it's Disney, and then
But
that kind of gets us into like DuckTales category and
Because
stuff.
yeah,
then
I'm
also
thinking.
we
Chippendale.
gotta
I'm
think
thinking
it can't be
Ducktales.
Batman, can't be Superman because it's a limit. We no comic
Yeah,
books.
I say we ask the Disney question.
Okay. All right. Are we ready to get back in? Because we're in the back 10 here,
Yep,
gang. Back
yep.
10. All
back
right.
10.
We're on. Bern, was this a Disney show?
Yes,
Here we
Okay.
go,
Was
Daddy.
was this character an animal?
yes,
Animal.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Did
So
this
now,
character have a lot of money?
no,
Okay, so it's not Scrooge.
not
It's not
Scrooge.
Scrooge McDuck.
So now, remember Tailspin, Baloo. What was the other guy's name?
Baloo,
We got Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing
Uh,
Duck.
Darkwing Duck wasn't 80s and 90s though. That was just
oh
90s.
yeah, you're right. So,
True.
but Chippendale was.
Chippendale,
I think we're
Tailspin.
looking at.
Did we ask if it was a
I think
duck?
we're looking at Chippendale or Ducktales.
We asked
Because
if it was an
there's
animal.
Launchpad. There's Launchpad.
I say we
Launchpad
ask.
McQuack?
I think we just asked the Ducktales question. We got 6 left.
So ask if it's in DuckTales or ask if it's a duck.
Ask if it's in Duck. Well, ask if it's Ducktales. Ask if it's Ducktales or Jace. Well, no. Well, no. If it's 80s to 90s and you say Ducktales, that will narrow it down, dude.
Hmm.
If you're going DuckTales, I mean, are you gonna reach for Launchpad? Are you gonna do that? Because
We can.
besides, I
Or we
mean,
ask if
there's
it's one of the
three now.
brothers.
Like it's like 3 questions to ask if it's Huey, Dewey, or Louie.
Was Ninja
Can't do
Turtles
that.
on? Was Ninja Turtles after
Ninja
school?
Turtles is not Disney.
That.
Remember,
Oh yeah,
we
you're
got
right. You're
we're
right. You're
doing
right.
Disney.
You're right. You're right. Okay. Bern, was this character on DuckTales?
this character was on DuckTales.
Oh yeah,
Launchpad. Gotta be Launchpad.
yeah, and it's no, so it's not money. We can ask if it's one of the brothers. You got
Huey,
Huey,
Dewey,
Dewey,
or
Louie.
Louie?
That knocks out 3 right there.
No,
One of the
just
nephews, technically.
Yeah, or
That's
nephews. Yeah, if they were brothers, whatever.
gotta be Launchpad. Is it Launchpad?
It is Launchpad McQuack. I want to give that to you guys on
Yes.
14. Launchpad McQuack spans the 80s and 90s because Launchpad was not only on DuckTales from 1987 to 1990, but was also Darkwing Duck's assistant, his
Yeah.
sidekick in Darkwing
Yeah.
Duck in the
He
90s.
sure
That's
was.
14 questions. Nice job from you guys. The
Man.
correct answer there, Launchpad McQuack.
Dude, Launchpad was the
Launchpad.
backbone of the DuckTales universe, dude.
Launchpad
Yeah.
was the fucking dude.
He was the most
absolute
fucking
dude.
reliable out of everybody in all those shows, dude.
DuckTales. Woo!
There you go. You can't read it. Launchpad McQuack. That was the guy.
On the guest
Nice
check.
job. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't find my pad, so I have a lot of these laying around.
Okay,
Nice
good.
job, boys. 14 questions. I guess technically that was the 15th question. The 15th question was,
Yeah.
is it Launchpad McQuack? So you guys got it in 15. Well done. Got to go back.
What's
You
to
knew
the
it was
lab.
quickest
Disney and
it's
an
ever been
animal. We were
guessed?
not. What's that?
This
What's-
is close. I think 13. I think I did Indiana Jones, and at 12, somebody asked, "Does he have an awesome hat?" And the answer was yes. And it had been
Yeah, that was
narrowed
me.
down.
got
But I
Jack
think,
Nicholson.
yeah,
We got really early. No, we got Jack Nicholson early because Liam asked if he was in a crime syndicate in Boston. You know,
Oh yeah,
that
maybe,
as like
maybe,
question
maybe.
5, I think. You know what I mean?
I don't know that
Yeah,
anybody's ever hit
but
this
still,
spot. I'll have to go back and check my notes.
We
But
don't
like the
know the
12,
quickest guess.
the 12, 13, I
Tom,
think
you can
is usually
feel
where we
free to
go.
research it.
And also,
Well,
you
you
guys are getting
No. Woo!
you guys are getting way better at this. Like early on, it was a little sloppy. There would be some double questions asked, some things that had
Yeah.
already been kind of ruled out. Like
Yeah.
you guys are starting to really zero in, which is why I have to kind of go fictional characters. It's tough to do actors or athletes anymore because those questions get like zeroed
Yeah, you
down
can
in
thin
like
them. You can
five
thin
or
them
six
down real
guesses.
quick. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can
So I
thin them
that's
down with like Academy Award question. You can thin them down with
Yeah.
like which
so I'm
decade, what style of movie it is. You know what I mean?
yeah. So I've been pushed towards the fictional characters because that at least gives me a little bit more wiggle. But nice job,
Love
boys.
the launch pad. Love launch
Nice
Love.
pad.
job,
Great
buddy.
What a
pull.
pick.
Great pull.
Launchpad's the man,
Launchpad
dude. He's the
McQuack.
fucking man.
Yeah, he is the man.
He's the man.
Launchpad
No,
McQuack.
He was awesome on
Respect
DuckTales.
launch pad.
He was awesome on Darkwing Duck. I mean,
Let's
he was the
get
man.
dangerous.
Staying power. Launchpad's got staying power.
Sure
Can't land a
does.
plane. Never landed a
No.
plane.
No.
Not an
Couldn't,
issue.
You
won't,
launch it,
shouldn't,
though.
and didn't.
He can launch that shit.
Launch the hell out of it. All right. Good stuff. Let's keep it moving. All right. Let's keep it moving. I got some stories for you today, gang. Stories for you today. All right. So here we go. This is what I want to know. All right. I want to know the amount of money that was spent and how many applications were submitted. So, the lady in question, here's the story. A lady in question, she went viral last year because she paid to put up billboards along US Highway 101. She paid for a website. She did like bus benches. She did all this stuff. She spent so much money in advertising, and she did taxis, website, everything like that to asking for someone to date her, right? So to submit dating applications. So a woman, she paid all this money for advertising, asking people to submit dating applications, right? So I want you to guess the amount of money. It was 8 months that she did the stuff. So and
fucking
then
rich
I
people,
want you
man.
to guess the number of applications. So just
Oh
so you know,
God.
she did this. This includes right billboards. So she footed the bill for advertising, which included billboards, taxi ads, a website, as well as like a wardrobe, makeup, and video shoots and related equipment. Right. So how much money?
Okay.
How many applications? And for a bonus, she did meet someone. How did she meet him? Go ahead.
Um, for money, let's just guess an even $1 million.
No,
Just
way high,
way high.
way high.
Yeah, I was gonna say a
That's
50
hundred.
8 months.
grand.
I was gonna say a
Whoa,
hundred.
way,
I was gonna
still
say
way high.
50
a
grand is
hundred's
way
way
high
high.
Yeah, 50's way high.
for advertising for 8 months. Really?
For
Yeah,
billboards. All right.
yeah,
So
Okay.
$18,000.
still a little high.
What?
10 grand.
Just a titch high, Tom.
Oh,
9
85? 85, honey?
It's 7 grand was
Okay,
the
Oh, so
amount.
she didn't
G's.
spend that much.
$1 million.
Not that much. $7,000 to date fucking schlubs.
I
And
mean,
then you're saying how many
Well, you
applications?
How
don't
many
know the guy that
applications?
she's dating.
All
He
right.
might
Well,
not
I
be a
mean,
schlub.
$7,000 to get how many applications?
Uh,
to get
oh wait, how many
6.
applications?
Five.
How many people actually like got back to her, or how many apps
Yep.
did she use to do this?
No.
How many
How
go back-
many dating applications
Actually,
were
do
submitted?
you know how many people
I-
probably called that line just fucking around? You know what I mean? Just being
Whoever
pricks,
said
like,
seven, I really like. I really
Thank
like
you.
7. Yeah,
No.
whoever said 7, I really like
The
7.
movie
It's in
or
the thousands.
yeah,
Well-
I say she got like 10,000
7,000.
responses.
Less
7G.
than 7,000.
3,500.
Close. It was 4,000. And then
$4,000. Okay.
how did she meet her husband?
It was the person selling her the billboards.
Yeah, I was
No.
gonna say it was her. It was
That's
her.
a
Yeah, it was her-
great dude. That should be like that's a rom-com right there.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
That's a
That's
bad
why I thought
movie
maybe
right
it
there.
was interesting, you know?
Hey,
How'd she
Liam,
meet her
that's how you'll
husband?
meet your girl for sure.
He hit her with a
Either
car while
there
she
or
was admiring
pumpernicks.
one of her billboards. uh, how did she finally meet her husband? Oh, I'm guessing the funny part is that it had nothing to do with $7,000 spent or 4,000 applications.
How?
All right, here we go. Here is the bizarre news story, gang. The bizarre news story. Here we go. Lisa Catalano's quest for love has finally paid off. The California woman went viral last year for putting up billboards along U.S. Highway 101 with her photo and a link to a website where potential suitors could submit dating applications. 8 months and almost $7,000 later, Catalano is off the market. She footed the bill for advertising, including billboards, taxi ads, and a website, along with wardrobe, makeup, video shoots, and related equipment. She received about 4,000 dating applications between September 2025 and May 2026. After all that, she ended up meeting her new boyfriend through a dating app back in January. That's right. The update on her website reads, applications closed, Lisa's in love and has a boyfriend. She describes him as kind, intelligent, attractive San Francisco Bay Area man who meets all her very reasonable non-negotiables. So there you go.
What are her
He's married and
non-negotiables?
she doesn't even know. It's a fake dating profile and he's married.
It just goes to show you that the old way of advertising is a fucking joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she could have gotten 4,000 in a day had she done this right. Online. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How'd she look? Did you see what she looks like?
Well, she looks like I guess she looks like $7,000 worth of billboards. If I could just say that frankly, like I don't know, man. She's probably not stopping traffic.
How dare you, Bern?
I mean, I'm just
She's
saying,
not stopping traffic. No pun
She's not
intended.
stopping
With her billboards.
Yeah, right. With her billboards.
How do I
For her
describe
face.
this? She's
Fugly.
she's okay.
You can just say it.
She's okay. You know what it is?
Maddie,
you know how
Maddie, T in the A?
No, you're not.
She like
Yeah.
Flo from
You're
the
not
Progressive
T in the A.
commercials.
You're not T in the A. You know what?
No.
She's got the look. Like, you ever see those girls? Like, they got the look of, like, they'd just be such a fucking nuisance. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't look bad, but she just looks like she'd be fucking not worth
high
the hat.
maintenance?
Yeah, just annoying. She looks annoying. You know what she reminds me of? She reminds me of a white Jewish looking Tim Meadows. She just looks fucking annoying.
Wow.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
looks
that's how
hilarious.
fucking
Hey, Tom.
annoying she looks.
Hey, Tom.
She's
Tom,
not
can I ask you a
funny.
question?
She's
Someone that'll make you
overrated.
laugh.
She
You know
gets
what? This
brought
might be-
along by her famous, funny fucking friends, and
This
she
might
has
be fun.
$7,000.
Hey, Tom, how do you feel about Tim Meadows?
How
Tim
do you feel,
Meadows?
Tom?
Yeah. Like in general. Funny guy, not funny guy, in good
Cock
stuff, in
smoking
bad
ass
stuff,
pirate.
decent, not decent. How do you feel about Tim Meadows? We're talking ladies' man. We're talking Dewey Cox. We're talking
Right.
Peacemaker. We're talking
nothing. He's done nothing.
SNL.
Yeah, what movies he starred in again that was really good?
The Ladies' Man, which was fucking awesome.
Was not good.
You're wrong. You're
Yeah,
wrong.
Ladies Man was funny.
You know who was the
Ladies' Man
best
was great.
person in that movie? A young
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
he
you,
was great.
Yeah.
Greco-Roman
beat by-
wrestling, Will Ferrell.
Oh no, you got beat by Will Ferrell. How many people in a movie can say that?
He can't
Everyone
compete
who's
with
ever
Will
been
Ferrell.
in a movie.
That
with-
was his best shit, and he can't compete with Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell blew Michael
Yeah,
Keaton
that's
off the
not a good
goddamn
argument.
stage and the other guys. All right,
All
Will
right,
Ferrell
hold
is
on,
a force to be
hold on.
reckoned with.
Time out. Give me if Tim Meadows is to comedy or movies, Tim Meadows is to comedy or movies, what blank is to basketball or baseball or something like that. You tell me where
man.
Tim Meadows
Who do
is
we think
ranked.
Tim Meadows is?
Is Tim Meadows a Hall of Famer?
No.
No, but
No.
he's still
No.
good. He's not bad though. Matt acts like he's not funny
Tim
at
Meadows
all.
was like
And he
the
is
worst
funny.
player on a
He's not
championship
funny.
team. That
Tim
you
Meadows
like.
is Nick. Tim Meadows is Nick Foles.
Yeah, he's a serviceable
Fuck
quarterback.
you. Fuck
What?
you. He
That's
is
a
not
dig
Nick
at the
Foles.
you son
Liam,
of a gun.
fucking, what are you
What do
doing?
you mean? When put in position
Yeah,
to fucking be the man, he delivers
Yeah.
every single time. He's rarely
does he
called upon to
deliver?
be that.
There's
Tim Meadows?
no scenario
No,
where
Dewey.
Tim Meadows has carried any
So,
team to a championship.
okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Stop.
Ever.
So
Ever.
I will say, okay, we're not going to say that he's Nick Foles winning a
I think
Super
he's
He's not
Bowl,
a fucking
but I
hero.
will say he's serviceable. You know
Nick
what I mean? Like, you
Foles'
can
dick
put him
is
in
way
any
bigger
place.
than Tim
He's-
Meadows.
So big. It's
I
so
mean-
big.
On average, it's probably close.
I agree,
Right.
but he's like
No.
a
Tim Meadows.
middle of the pack.
You know what
middle of
Tim
the pack.
Meadows is
You can
like?
put him in, he'll hold his own.
Do you guys remember
He's like Kirk
there's
Cousins.
a basketball
like
team?
Kirk Cousins' whole
No, he's
career,
better than-
you can just
he's
put
better
him
than
in.
Kirk
Nah,
Cousins.
he's
No,
Kirk
he's
Dad.
You know what he
That's
is?
what he
He's
is.
not.
That's what he
Tim
is.
Meadows-
He's serviceable. You can put him in.
Tim Meadows isn't the quarterback. It's like whatever it
No,
is,
he's
he's not
not.
the quarterback. He's like just kind of a role player that like, oh yeah.
Nick Foles'
you know, I got
greatest
to
play in
remember.
that Super Bowl was as a receiver. What I'm saying is he's
So
versatile.
what?
He moves and shit. Listen, guys, now you know.
That whole playoffs, he was fucking awesome.
We're talking to a Giants fan, Matt.
And then he was
doesn't know
gone.
what he's talking about. Who
And
the
then he was
fucking-
gone. No, you
Then
don't.
he was
You
No, he
gone.
went to the
And
playoffs
then
the
you-
following year.
and then you built your
Yeah,
team around
doink,
him.
doink. Doink, doink.
We're also comparing comedians to NFL players, which is kind
It's
of
tough.
I
No,
asked
I
for
got the
basketball or
I have-
baseball, by the
I
way.
right.
have the
How
perfect
about
comparison.
Chooch? How about Chooch? Is
No.
Tim Meadows
He's
Chooch?
not
that
fucking
is a
Chooch is a
perfect
back
He's not a
end.
example.
World
Is he
Series
Chooch?
championship
I think he's
guy.
Chooch.
He is not fucking
No.
Chooch.
Yes, he
Scott,
is.
He's the
Yes,
whatever
he
the
is.
fuck you want to
He's
call.
the fifth best
All right?
guy on the team.
Yes,
He's
yes,
always
he is.
dependable. He
that is
a
shows
good-
up when you need him.
Yes.
No.
Yeah,
I got
gonna
exactly,
bring
That's
I
it.
got exactly
ensemble
who he is.
up.
I figured
Yeah,
it out.
that's
I
it.
know exactly who he
No,
is.
it is
You know who he
Chooch.
is?
He's right.
It's
You
Chooch.
know who he is?
It's not Chooch.
Tim Meadows is to comedy what Matt Geiger was to the
Not even
76ers in 2001. That's exactly who
Not
he
even
is.
close.
All right?
No,
He's
not
a
Matt
fucking
Geiger.
Liam,
no
Liam,
good.
let's
nothing.
If
die on the-
anything,
let's die on the
Aaron
Chooch hill.
McKee. Aaron McKee, then.
No,
Okay,
he's not sixth man of the year, Aaron McKee.
he's
What are you,
he's
nuts?
He's a
definitely-
yeah.
perfect sixth man of the year.
Yeah,
He's
he
the
is
perfect
actually.
fifth or
Yeah.
You
sixth
wouldn't even
funniest
know
guy
Tim
in your
Meadows'
thing.
name
No,
without
A-
him being friends with Adam Sandler
Chooch or
and
Aaron
Chris
McKee
Rock
is the
and all
right
those guys.
that is the right comparison. That is the proper
It is
comparison.
not Chooch.
Yes, it is.
No
He's Chooch.
way.
I think he's Chooch.
Chooch and Aaron McKee
No.
are the proper comparisons. Yes, they are.
No way. He's not
They definitely
championship
are.
material.
I
He's
just
not
don't
championship
remember.
material.
I don't remember Tim Meadows' breakout year. Like, wow,
Right.
what
He was
he
funny
doing
on
anymore?
SNL.
Remember Chooch's
Doesn't have
breakout
one.
year either. He
Really?
was
What's
just
his best stuff?
solid.
Take away ladies, man.
Senor
Tell me all his
Octubre?
best stuff.
Senor
I-
Octubre. The catcher
But he
is
was
the
there
backbone of the team.
But he was there before and he was there after. Right, but he doesn't need any of the glory. He doesn't need any of the glory. He's not.
But he was
the,
a clutch
the third.
player. He was the backbone.
Oh,
Yep,
my
but
got
he's not a
busted
top
for
four most
Adderall.
flashy
That's
guy
not
on
Tim
the
He
team.
did
Meadows.
get busted
Who
for
anybody
Adderall.
cares about. He's just the guy who silently shows up, does his job,
Yeah.
and elevates everyone around him
Not
every fucking
true.
time.
Not
He's an
elevating.
anchor. He weighs everybody
I don't know about an
down.
anchor. He's
He's
just like
slightly
Tony from Popstar.
He's Greg Dobbs.
Are you kidding
He's
me?
Greg Dobbs. Is who he
He's
is.
better than Dobbs.
He's
better
Greg
than
Yeah.
Dobbs.
He's better than
Yeah, he's
Dobbs.
definitely better
He's
than
better
Dobbs.
than Dobbs.
He was a boy in the dugout that they all liked. They were boys of man. We love Dobbsy. Oh, he's one of the best pinch hitters in the league. But
That's
he
wrong.
never really, he's not kind of remembered, like, whatever, he had a
No, but then you
decent-
see all these amazing things, and you see that he's the fourth or fifth funniest guy in all of them. Like he never doesn't deliver. He's
when
huge.
was he the fourth or fifth funniest guy? On
Never.
Meadows.
SNL?
Never.
Yeah, probably
watch-
on SNL. Yeah.
Probably
No.
on SNL. Go watch Dewey
No.
Cox. Go watch Dewey Cox.
Yeah, Dewey
Okay.
Cox, he's great in that.
In one movie, he's the 4th or 5th funniest guy in
Dewey
the movie,
Cox
and
isn't
you're
even that
saying
good of
Tim
a
Meadows
movie.
is great?
Go watch Popstar. Go
Oh,
watch
whoa,
Peacemaker
Walk
that just
Hard is
happened.
an incredible movie.
Yeah, don't say that, Matt.
Walk
Now
Hard
you're
is
being-
great.
Now you're
not
making a
so
joke out of
big on
yourself.
that.
Don't do it, Dewey. It's pot. Don't. Come on. You're going to
Well,
be
I don't want to
addicted.
get addicted. There are no addictive properties. Tim Meadows plays every single one of those weird drug closet scenes perfectly.
Wow.
Yeah, he sure does.
So
I think
where's
that's
his,
his best
Give him
work.
an award. Ugh. He did a drug
Chooch.
scene. Anyone could have fucking delivered that. Please.
But he was the one who did. Tim Meadows is the man.
So where
Yeah,
are you
I don't
rank?
think-
I mean, I just don't understand. He's not.
So your
I mean-
brother despises Tim Meadows, and me and
I don't
Liam
despise
enjoy him in everything he shows up.
I just
in.
think
You're always
he's
like,
overrated.
Tim Meadows
and he
always
sucks.
elevates it a little
What's
bit. He's
despised?
not overrated. He's totally properly rated. No one talks about the
He's
genius
not.
of
He
Tim
should be
Meadows.
rated.
Yeah,
he's
we're not
he's fucking
acting like
F
he's the-
tier. You guys are putting
not-
him fucking S tier. He's
He's
fucking
we're
F
definitely
tier.
not F. We
No,
didn't
we're
put him in
not.
S tier.
No,
What
no
tier
one
is
said
he
You
in?
that.
hate him so much. All you fucking do is Tim Meadows
Maddie,
this, Tim Meadows that. Like
Maddie,
he's your
he's a-
fucking girlfriend.
he's
the
a
guy
C plus.
stinks.
He's a C to B at best, but you put him in
Oh.
F and
Say
you're
a
wrong.
C. I'll give him a C.
to B. C to
I'll
B.
give him a
This guy's
C.
I
so
give him C to
good.
B. Maddie
He's
has
not
him
a
in
C
F,
to
and I
B
think he's wrong.
anything. You
C
need to
is
C to B. You're nuts.
That's what
because
we've
you
been
lost.
saying is that he's C, like he's in the middle.
Yeah.
Is like
He's
you
right
know,
there. He's never
He's
going to hurt
just
your
there.
He's a
product.
C.
He's only going to help your product. He's never going to hurt it. He's never going to be
Yeah.
the best guy in it, but he's going to elevate
Just
whatever
not
you're
funny.
doing.
He's
I
just
I don't know if
not
he's gonna
funny.
help your product. He's not gonna hurt. He's never gonna hurt.
He's never going to
I'll
hurt
give
it.
you that.
He's never going to
I'll
hurt
give
it.
you that. I'll give you a C. I'll give him a C.
C.
And we're talking. There's an
Please.
S, right?
Yes.
S A
So there's an
B
A, B,
C.
and S above that. We think he's.
Yeah.
I might have him as a C
He's a
plus.
There's
D at
plenty of
best.
room for C.
He's
C
a
guys.
D.
He's a C.
You're a D. You're both D's. All of you are D's. All right.
Speaking of which, this has been the Working Perspective podcast.
Nope. I got one more story, you fucktards. Here we go.
All right.
All right.
let's do
You
it.
know when you
Indy-
bring up
here-
Timmy Meadows, it gets him going.
I wish I had a
That's why we
fucking
did
Tim
it.
Meadows story right now.
That's
If I
why
had
we
a
did it.
fucking Tim Meadows story. Oh.
The thing is, there
Okay.
are no stories, Matt. There's never a
Right.
Tim Meadows story. 'Cause
Right.
Nobody
No,
cares.
everyone's
There's
just like,
nothing
yeah, he was the
interesting
best
or
guy on
funny
set.
about
He
him.
was really
You're
funny.
right. So here we go. An Indian ascetic monk who belongs to a sect known as Kwashkwari, or Standing Babas,
Yeah.
is currently not sitting or lying down. And they do this for a long amount of time. He is 5 years into a stretch. You need to tell me how long is this guy refusing to sit down or lie down for? He's 5 years in.
Oh, they just always.
I've seen
stand.
this guy. His feet
They
are black,
stand.
like they're
So they-
awful. It's
Oh,
So these
it's
people just only
brutal.
stand. Part of their thing is they don't ever
They
stay
just
on a
stand.
Wait,
rest.
so he's
I'll
he's
give you the
5 years
deets
in,
more.
and we need to know what do we need to figure out? He's
I
5
want
years
you to
in, and
guess
what?
how many years he's trying to do. And he's 5
30.
years in.
All right,
Hasn't
he's 5 years
sit
in.
down or lie down.
Okay, he's
Yeah.
5 years in. Are we thinking
How old-
he's
how
trying
old
to
is
do
he?
like 20 years?
Doesn't give me his age.
All right, I was going to say the rest of his life based on that.
Yeah.
I say it's like
Uh,
a 20-year thing, and you can retire.
Yeah,
Not
15. 15?
Closer with 15.
All right,
10?
so 12.
He's halfway there. Well,
What'd you say, Bern?
12. I said 12.
12. Here we go. All right, here is a bizarre news story. Okay.
God,
An
he's not even
Indian
halfway.
ascetic monk who belongs to a sect known as Kwashwari, or the Standing Babas, is 5 years into a 12-year vow to not sit or lie down. All right. Instead, Dulal Gauri Mirjarj, the guy, that's the monk's name, relies on literal support system of rope swings and harnesses to help him stay upright. A ritual viewed
Cheating.
as penance and a way to be close to the goddess Shiva. So the monk's
The
legs
goddess
are
of death?
the monk's legs are swollen and blackened from standing for so long, and he
What
is
the
tended
fuck?
by a team of volunteers Experts say that standing for so long can result in life-threatening injuries. They say when standing still for a long time, the veins in the legs must fight gravity to send blood to the heart, but the lack of pumping action in the calf muscles causes blood to pool in the lower extremities.
Wait, Matt, is he moving or is he just standing?
He
Is he like
is
walking
standing
around
above
and shit?
us. Do not sit or lie down.
So it doesn't say whether he moves.
I think he can move, but they just went back in from
This is the
standing
most
for so long.
ridiculous. Yeah, I know.
Selfish
Yeah.
thing I've ever heard. So you're gonna make
Yeah.
a point. You're doing some kind of penance, and you need a fucking team around you of people with ropes
Right.
and pulleys, making sure that you never like. This is everything that's wrong with fucking religion. This is stupid. You're causing more harm to the people around you, trying to make some kind of stupid
Yeah, now
point.
someone else will
to
try
no
to
one.
do it too.
Right.
And then yeah.
But you need a
I
team of
agree.
people hanging around you to make sure that you never sit down. Like, come on.
Okay,
man.
so it says that they're allowed to walk around, they're just not allowed to sit or lie down. But their mobility is highly restricted. They usually stay in one corner, standing or hanging from special supportive sling. Holy shitola.
This is so stupid.
Oh,
it is.
dude, the legs are god. Oh, god.
Just
I'm gonna
purple? Are they just purple and veiny?
Dude, no, they're
Yes.
black. They're fucking
Oh.
black.
They're done.
He's not going to
Ugh.
live 12 years. Dude.
Amputate.
He's not going to live 7 more years.
Bro, my gosh. Did I think
That'll-
about like
That'll show
bartending all those
Shiva.
years?
Yeah, I
yeah.
know.
There you go,
Classic
Shibi.
Classic swashwari or whatever the hell Matt said, you know?
Well, speaking of the classic Schwashwari, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast presents Beat the Bros. I'm Matt Lavelle, he's Bern Pockasy, that handsome bastard's Liam Reese, and our special guest, the one and only Tom Lavelle. In case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can hang out with us on Instagram, Working Perspectives Podcast. You can join us on Twitter and TikTok at Working P Pod. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe. We'll keep bringing you this sweet, sweet content. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the flippy. Thanks. See you.